Hello everyone. Good evening. Am I audible?
You are.
Thank you.
Yes, you're audible. Anji.
Uh, Thank you for confirmation. All right. So we will not waste much time. We will directly get into the topic. But before that, let me just repeat what we have covered yesterday. Okay. And just like yesterday, we will have Q&A session before we wrap up this day two course of the course. Okay. All right. So yesterday we covered uh, definition of positive psychology, then the need for this new field, then beginning of this discipline, basic concepts, what all research that was conducted when this was introduced, all the criticism around positive psychology and status and current scenario. These were the topics we covered yesterday. So today we will start with day two. So let me share my screen and I will request Romanaji to please start the session.
Oh, thank you, Swapnil ji. Before we start the session, first of all, good evening to everybody. Am I audible? Since I'm in a different setting today. Is it audible to
Yes,
everybody?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes,
ma'am.
You're
ma'am.
audible.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, I would like to say that yesterday I was connected through the lab, through the desktop, but then today I have connected through phone. So it might be possible that I may just get disconnected if I get a call or something. So don't worry. Even if that happens, I'll connect immediately. Okay. Somebody saying something. Not sure.
Good evening.
Yes. Are we having a lag or something, Swapnilji? I'm not sure.
No, I can hear you pretty clearly. So there
Okay.
is some issue
You
from
repeat
users and
me and then
Okay, fine. So that's what I wanted to say, that since I've connected through mobile today, if at all I get a call, I might get disconnected. But please just stay tuned because I'll connect back again. There's some issue at my place since it's a very remote area. We sometimes do not have internet here. So that one particular day is today. So I have joined from the mobile. So we'll start. I think I think we can start. Should we wait for anybody? Should we wait for any more members, or can we just start right away? We'll start, Swapnilji.
yes, we can get started. So
Okay, okay,
recording will be available for the students. Okay.
okay, great. Okay. So fine. Now let's start. Yesterday, as we talked about positive psychology and how the discipline came into being, and what are the current researches, what are the criticism, what's the current scenario. So I think almost everybody who was present in yesterday's class have got a feel of the discipline and have also understood the foundation, or you can say the basic concepts. Okay. So today, as we had discussed yesterday, we are going to talk about the applications of positive psychology in our day-to-day lives. So I have broken that up for you. First is application of positive psychology for self, for others, in educational settings, mental health settings, and private counseling practice, human resource management, and business administration. But while we talk, I want that I should first take it up in educational setting, mental health. I should take that up first, and the self and others we can keep it towards the end, because that is the most important part. And as we all know, the law of recency and the law of primacy, since it will be the law of recency, we'll be able to remember that better. Okay. So we can start. We'll go to the next slide. Yes. So first it is how can we use it in educational settings and especially for children. So first and most important thing is See, there is a term called tabula rasa. What does that mean? It means a blank slate, a blank slate. So the mind of children is like a blank slate, okay? Whatever you write on it or whatever you tell them, that is what they will record, and that is how their behavior will be manifested, okay? So for behavioral changes, positive psychology is very, very useful. So there are a few concepts now in behaviorism that I would like to ask everybody. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by shaping and what do you mean by chaining? Can anybody tell me? Please write it in the chat box. What do you mean by shaping and what do you mean by chaining? Yes. I don't. Are we getting any responses for shaping and chaining? No one? If it's too much to write, if somebody can just tell me on the call itself. What
We
is
are
shaping?
getting responses.
Okay. Are we getting responses? I'm sorry, I'm not
Shaping
able to
means
access.
molding, ma'am. Shaping
Yes.
means what I understand is molding a child. And
Okay.
chaining means might be to connect to, to channelize.
Okay. Fine. Thank you for the response, although it is not completely correct. Is there anybody who would want to try?
Can I?
Yes, please. Please. Yes.
I think shaping is by giving tokens. You shape the behavior the way you want. You try and mold the child to behave in a particular way. For example, giving positive reinforcements for the particular behavior. And then chaining this kind of behavior means you train the child to get the similar responses again and again by giving some similar sort of reinforcements and developing those type of behavior uh, could be the chaining of the behavior.
Okay. Actually, what you told for chaining is actually shaping, and what you told for shaping is actually token economy. Uh, Fine. Thank you for the answer. I think is anybody else who wants to try? Because see,
I
these
would
are very.
like to try. Yeah.
Please, please.
Chaining is basically through negative reinforcements, and shaping is through positive reinforcements. So, chaining would be punishments. We're forcing the child.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Fine.
Uh,
I'll.
Okay, I never heard of this word chaining before, but I just want to try. Shaping could be like what we usually get to listen, like, you try to make the child molded onto the way you want, or change their habits, or make them do what you want to. And chaining, I'm just guessing it. It might be like putting like course of things. Setting a goal kind of a thing, and trying to arrange series of actions so that they attain the last thing. Ultimately, they could reach that thing. I'm just guessing it. I don't know.
Yes, you're pretty much there. You're pretty much there. Since many of, some responses we had about reinforcement and punishment. Can anybody tell me? I mean, obviously, I'm just trying to bring in little bit of behaviorism here because that is what is most useful in educational settings. So, can anybody tell me what is the difference between what is the difference between reinforcement and punishment? Number one. Number two, what is the difference between punishment and negative reinforcement? Can anybody tell me that?
Uh, Punishment basically occurs after the deed is done. For example, the child has made a mess. Now he gets punished. But reinforcements occurs while the child is doing something. So he's making a mess, and while he's making the mess, we are giving him some kind of negative reinforcement,
we are maybe pushing him, or we are maybe scolding him. That would be a negative. We are discouraging it.
So discouraging it, though, it will be punishment, na? How will it be negative reinforcement?
Yeah,
Because
ma'am,
it's yeah.
punishing is for negative, like you punish for negative behavior when you want to decrease a response, and you reinforce for a more positive outlook or a more positive response via the child.
Okay, fine. I think, everybody is very much close. Now, whatever I'm going to say, please note it down, okay? We have got two sets of things, reinforcement and punishment. Reinforcement ke paas, just write one line. It will always increase the behavior. Punishment will always decrease the behavior. Is that understood by everybody? Reinforcement, whether positive or negative, will increase the behavior. Punishment, whether positive or negative, will always decrease the behavior. Now let us understand what reinforcement is and what punishment is. See, reinforcement is, like somebody told, if it is given during. It's not necessary. It can be given after also. Positive reinforcement is, suppose you want the child to say something. Suppose a guest comes to home and you want the child to greet the guest with a namaste. The moment the child does namaste, you say very good beta, you pat, you give a chocolate. That is positive reinforcement. So isme kya hua? The behavior occurred. Okay, the behavior happened. The behavior increased. What is negative reinforcement? To avoid something negative, okay, you are doing a certain activity. Okay, suppose I stay in a hostel, or I stay in a PG, and my friend, my roommate, she's somebody who just loves cleanliness, and I am somebody who's not much interested in cleanliness. So when my friend comes to the room and she sees it's very dirty, she scolds me, and I just don't like to argue and fight with her. So to save myself from that argument and fight, I will actually clean the room. So yahan pe behavior increase hua, but we tried to avoid a negative thing. So this is a negative reinforcement. We avoided a negative thing, but our behavior increased. So this is negative reinforcement. Is this much understood by everybody? Please, somebody you can just write a yes or no in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Okay.
So
Okay.
increase in the sense it can be either positive or negative. Like in this case, you are doing something good to avoid that argument or the discussion.
No. Don't confuse it that way. Just
Okay.
understand two things. Agar reinforcement hai, behavior will always happen. Second, in positive, you are getting something, so you are feeling positive. Negative mein something is taken away from you or you are avoiding, that is why you are feeling good and your behavior is increased. Just remember this much.
Okay. Thank you.
So this is clear, right? Okay. Now next we come to what is punishment. Again, punishment is of two types: positive punishment, negative punishment. Now what is positive? Positive punishment is addition of something aversive so that you don't do the behavior. Like suppose I slap you, I scold you. So I'm adding something to the situation so that you don't do a particular behavior. Okay. And what is negative punishment? Taking away something pleasant from you. Let's say my father gave me a scooty for my birthday, and then I was instructed that even if you are getting a scooty, you should be home by 7 o'clock in the evening. But they observe that for at least 10 successive days, I'm coming after 8:30. So what do? They take away the scooty ka chabi from me. Okay, they take away the keys from me. So now I will no more use the scooty. So my behavior is reduced, or my behavior is decreased, or my behavior does not happen. So that is a negative reinforcement. Adding something unpleasant is a positive punishment. Taking away something pleasant is a negative punishment. Is that understood by everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give another example of a positive punishment?
Yes, definitely. Suppose, let's say, you are somebody who is very much interested in, let's say, social service, okay? And because you are very innocent or you're very gullible, let's say, you always land in a problem, okay? And your parents don't support this because they say, no need to do so much social work because you're not matured enough to understand and know what kind of people are there outside, okay? So what do they do is, every time, let's say, you come and you tell them, okay, you know, today I helped this person, that person, they will directly tell you of an event where the negative has happened. Let's say you tell that today I gave somebody 50 rupees. Today a lady had come to me and she told I did not have food and I gave her 50 rupees. Now see, you have done a good thing, but your parents want that you should not indulge in social service. What they will tell, Arey, you don't know, yesterday in near my office, one lady, she also asked me for 10 rupees. I gave her 10 rupees and immediately she went and she ate pan or gutka or she smoked a cigarette. So this is what people do nowadays. Now that will make you actually, you know, think for a moment, oh, maybe she might have done the same thing with my 50 rupees also. Maybe I should not do it in the future. So that is again a positive punishment. They have injected that into your mind that this is not a good thing to do. And that will in subsequent days reduce your behavior. So that is positive punishment. Is that okay?
Yeah, clear now. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Right. So, okay, now this is, whenever we have a class on behaviorism, I'll tell you a little more about it, but okay, just because we are doing it as an application of positive psychology, this much is enough. Now, next we are coming to shaping. What is shaping and chaining? See, when we say shape, when we just imagine, just try to understand it from the word itself. When I say shape, let's say we have a football. Now, football is round, okay? And or let's say you have to draw, if I tell you, okay, you draw a circle on the paper. So now when you start drawing, or let's say you are making chapati, okay, let's take this example. You're making chapati and whoever is teaching you has told you that chapati has to be totally round. But when you start on day one, it's not round, it's not even near to round. Second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, seventh, eighth day mein jaake it became a round. So the perfect shape is round. Dhire 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 dhire, every day you are moving, and on the eighth day you get the perfect shape. So day one mein when you make thoda tredha medha type, whoever is teaching you will actually encourage you. Arey koi baat nahi, first day aise hota hai, mere saath bhi hua tha, you carry on. So you got little encouraged. Second day you made little better. So the person told, Arey wow, you are improving, very good, much better than yesterday. And the person keeps on encouraging you after every round of your trial till you get the desired shape. That is known as shaping. Okay. Now, how is it different from chaining? Chaining mein it is a bigger goal where every you can say every act or every trial is divided and you have to cross every trial to reach the last one. Let's say 26 alphabets of the English language. Suppose I have to teach somebody 26 alphabets of the English language. He has to know all 25 before reaching Z or before reaching Z. He cannot just, reach till P, then leave out QR, go to W. That will not happen. So chaining is a bigger goal. Again, it is broken down and every goal is connected to one another and the person reaches the last goal. Shaping mein, it is not like that. Shaping mein, you have to make a goal chapati. One person can make in 1 day, 2 days. Somebody can make it on the first day itself. Somebody might just not make it a very round chapati, but in some, you can just say little bit idhar udhar bhi hota hai, so it's okay. Not exactly 360 degrees. Thoda idhar udhar is okay. But chaining mein, it is the bigger goal broken down into smaller goals, and every trial or every smaller part is counted as a you can say as a succession to the final one. Is that okay for everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Yes. I'm sorry, actually, I'm not able to access the chat from my phone. Therefore, I'm asking after everything that whether you've understood or not. Okay. Now, next we come to token. Now, what is token? See, especially this happens when we are working with children with special needs. Okay, for them, even small activities like brushing their teeth or even holding something properly is a very big deal. Okay, so what do? is they try this shaping and chaining. After that, they try something known as token. Now let me explain what is a token. Token is basically not the actual thing, but it can be used in exchange for an actual thing. Let me tell you, जैसे मान लीजिए when you go to a canteen, so what happens? The person gives you a 25 rupees ka plastic ka, that that round plastic coin type of thing, and that you exchange for the actual food, like actual samosa or actual pav bhaji or whatever. Similarly, with children, what do? We want that they should learn the value of every activity. So मान लीजिए there is a child, and the child does not keep the room clean, does not like take matlab, after food she leaves the plate on the table. We want that she should go and put it in the wash basin. So what we do, we tell her that, see, if you see, what do you want? First we'll ask her, ki, what do you want? So let's say she says that I want a bicycle. Okay, so let's say the token amount of the bicycle is, let's say, 500 rupees. I'm just giving an example. So we tell her ki dekho, if you clean your room, if you clean your room, for every time you clean your room, we'll give you 25 value token. Okay, matlab that token ka value would be 25 rupees. And every time you, after eating, you take your plate to the sink or the wash basin, that is 15 rupees ka token. ऐसे ऐसे करके you have to collect the token. The day you make it 500, जिस दिन तुम्हारे पास 500 हो जाता है, you come and deposit with me, and then I'll give you the bicycle. So what will happen? The girl, over a success, the child, over the time, she will try to collect as many tokens as she can to complete that 500. Since she is repeating the behavior, and that is a goal directed or a desired behavior, she will get accustomed to it, and that will form as a habit. So since we have to teach something positive to her, this token thing will be very useful. Is this understood?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay, great.
Yes,
So now
ma'am.
next, okay, thank you. So next is modeling. So what is modeling? Modeling is, I think everybody knows, like suppose you are having a person whom you respect or whom you look up to, or you are just seeing somebody act in a particular way, and you also want the child to imitate that behavior, or to actually get behave in that particular way. So that is modeling. I think everybody knows it. The next, how we can use positive psychology is through storytelling. So basically, when you tell children stories which are motivational, which are inspirational, which have a moral to say, so children will learn many good things about them, and their mindset will change from the very beginning, and they will always have a stronger mindset. So that is how also we can use positive psychology. Then ethics and morality, again, that also comes under storytelling, telling them anecdotes, telling them good things, good occurrences in the society. Then role play. So role play basically is little different from modeling. Modeling mein the child is outside observing somebody and learning. Role play mein the child is actually in the situation, and the child tries to enact that entire thing, and the child is learning. And the last one is very, very important. As parents, as caregivers, as relatives, as blood relations of the child, or as observers also, always please give honest, clear, and unbiased feedback to the child. Whenever we give a child a very confused feedback, the resulting action of the child is very confusing in itself also. So if you want to use positive psychology in educational setting, first and foremost thing is you have to be very honest with the child. If the child has done something and you do not approve of it, you must tell the child. But obviously there are ways how to tell it. So that we just discussed yesterday only while we were talking about assertiveness. And it has to be very clear. The instructions has to be very clear, and the feedback has to be very unbiased. You cannot say that, oh, see, you are a girl, that is why you can't do this. If you would have been a boy, you could have done. No, these things we should totally avoid. So this is how we'll use. Yes. Sorry? Somebody saying something? Okay. So this is how we use positive psychology in educational setting. Okay, next we can go to the next slide. Yes. So how will we use it in counseling? So first of all, client-centered approach that we had talked about yesterday also. Here we will keep uh, uh, the client as our focus, and we will have, I think everybody knows about unconditional positive regard, everybody knows about empathy, everybody knows about compassion. So there is basically not much to tell in how to use it in counseling. I think we can just go through. If there is any doubt in any point, we'll take it up. So client-centered approach, again, we have to have unconditional positive regard for the client. We have to be totally unbiased. We have to be totally non-judgmental. Then clear and positive communication. Positive, you should not tell him that, oh, this is what you did. Very bad. You should not have done that. No, please don't give any value judgments. You are not there to judge him there and then. Maybe later you can just tell him what was good, what was bad, but then it has to be very clear and positive communication. If the person is regretting, feeling bad of having done something, please empathize. It's okay. Okay, fine, you have done. Okay. And empathize. So clear and positive communication. Again, compassion, ethics, and morality. Compassion, when a person is talking, you actually talk very politely to him, show some love towards him. Okay. And what is ethics and morality? You talk on rational lines. Okay. If man lijiye, somebody tells you, let's see, my stepmother does not behave properly with me. And do you really think stepmothers behave well? Now, please don't give your judgment that, oh yeah, really, even I think they don't behave well. No, be ethical and moral. Don't, no need to say that they behave well. Or, okay, you can just tell him, okay, carry on. Yes, okay. Okay. So that is how it is. Compassion, ethics, and morality. Patience and empathy. I see many a times, even I have my students who are counselor, they tell me that sometimes I feel so bored, ma'am, whenever he's talking, whenever she's talking, and I'm playing games. Now that is very bad. Please don't do it at all. Please, please never do it. Or somebody will say, ma'am, I was so hungry, I didn't even listen what he was saying. Very bad. Please don't ever conduct a session when you yourself are not comfortable. Comfortable, I'll say psychologically also and physiologically also. Please don't conduct counseling sessions when you are hungry, when you are angry, or when you are very grumpy, when you are feeling very, very frustrated. Please don't do it. Okay. So patience and empathy. Please be patient with the person, show empathy, and have your reasonings. Okay, whenever you want to rephrase and you want to have some reasoning with the person, but please don't be blunt. Okay, don't be very rude with him. And whenever there is a silence from his side or from your side, it has to be a very comfortable silence. It's like you can understand. Okay, there are some very discomforting silences, uncomfortable silences, and there's some very comfortable silence. Comfortable silence is when you are trying to understand the position of the person, why the person is feeling like that. If a person is saying on your face that, see ma'am, whatever happens, I'm not coming anymore to your session because I just don't like this place. It's done. Just look at the wall colors. It's not good. So you don't need to, you don't need to actually agree with him or tell him, okay, you get out right now. Not like that. Just be comfortable silence. Comfortable silence is one of the best things that you can do, not only in counseling, also in your life. Okay. And motivating him to attend further sessions. How would you do that? You can always tell him whatever he has told you while you are rephrasing it for him, or later when he tells you, okay, thank you, bye, you just tell him that, okay, this is what we did today, and next time this is what we will do. So just hold his attention so that he'll be motivated to come to attend the other, for the future sessions. Okay, right. So we can go to the next. Yes. So how is it useful in human resource management and business administration? Okay. Before going into this, let me give you a brief history. Studying various concepts in public administration, you can always see that before, when, we all know in 1600s, Industrial Revolution was there. Okay. During Industrial Revolution, people were treated just like machines. Okay. They were not, there was not a humanist approach in management. People, they left their villages, they came to the cities. There were no good living conditions. Children used to be there in factories. Then there used to be pregnant women who were working, and it was very, very bad conditions. So, and all the managers or all the owners, they thought that if we are the manager or we are the owner, it is because of our intelligence and because of our birth in that lineage. Okay, and if you are a laborer or if you are a worker, it is because you're born that way. We cannot do anything about it. So there was no humanist approach. You are just like machine. You have to work 12 to 14 hours a day. We are the managers. We are just supposed to pay you, and that's all. We don't have any relation. Okay. But that slowly changed when a person known as Elton Mayo came into the picture. Elton Mayo, Mary Parker Follett, these people are the humanist. They hold a very humanist view of management. Okay, so Elton Mayo? What did he do? He conducted a group of experiments known as Hawthorne studies.
Another name, ma'am, you said?
Sorry.
What was the another name, ma'am, you said, apart from Elton Mayo?
Mary Parker Follett, Mary, Mary Parker, Parker, and Follett, Follett, but T is silent. Mary Parker.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, most welcome. So now he conducted Hawthorne studies. Now I do not want to tell you the entire studies. There was a series of experiments. I'll tell you the most important one. He did it in a Hawthorne division of Western Electrical office, and there what they did this experiment on diminishing light conditions during work. So मान लीजिए in the morning the lighting was very good. Till let's say 4 o'clock the lighting was very good. 4 o'clock के बाद slowly they started dimming the lights. Okay, तो lights बहुत कम हो गए, बहुत कम हो गया. Now Elton Mayo and the people who conducted the study, they just wanted to know if the lighting or the physical conditions go from bad to worse, does that affect the work productivity? What they found is that people are affected by physical conditions much less than they are affected by absence of humanist approach. Matlab, what do I mean? Suppose light nahi hai, or suppose you are feeling very hot, that is still manageable. But if your manager does not care about you, if your co-workers are not polite to you, if they're not supportive to you, if they're not cooperative with you, that will matter much more. So he discovered that job satisfaction increased through employee participation in decision rather than through short-term incentives. So if you give them any short-term incentive or anything, you are giving them money. Now see, money for the workers was okay. Money for workers was okay for them to work, but what mattered to them most was when people cared about them, when the manager could see their contribution to the 1 minute please. Okay, so sorry. Yes. So what Mayo told is that human relation or human engagement is most important rather than money or rather than these, short-term incentives or monetary incentives. Okay. So here also, you can see it's a positive psychology of how you treat your employees, how you treat your laborers, how you treat your workforce. Okay, so positive psychology from that day, from that main after that Hawthorne studies, we have many researchers who have worked on the positive aspects of human relations in the organization. Okay, and from there now you will see human resource management. See, earlier there were two kinds of things. One was handling labor and handling capital. So capital is money and labor is man. Okay, but see, they changed the term to human resource management. Now what do you mean by resource? See, resource is something that can be used to produce something more valuable, or in itself also it may be valuable. Okay. Now why human resource? Why was humans called a resource? Because they are not just somebody who will like blindly work for you, or you can just make them work. People understood that if you give them just money, they will work for, let's say, 10 to 12 hours, but the productivity may stagnate after some time. But if you treat them well, if you involve them in decision making, if you make them a part of the organization, then they will work also, and subsequently productivity will increase also. So that is why this is how positive psychology was entered, you can say, the business management, business administration and human resource management. Yes, we can go to the next slide. Yes, so this is the Hawthorne studies. You can just go through it. It's the same thing that I told. So if you have the working of the factory work, just one moment. Yes, so this is the Hawthorne studies. You can just go through it. There's nothing much to say. Whatever I told is the same thing only. Okay. Yes, so we really need attention from our managers. It also happens, in your school also. If you have done something and the teacher does not appreciate, or if the teacher does not take notice, appreciate to chalo, it's a second phase. If the teacher does not take notice also, you feel very, very bad, you feel very, very broken from inside that I did this, but nobody saw. Even family functions also. If you are the one, who has arranged the chairs or flowers in a particular way, and you are feeling very happy about it, and suddenly you see nobody is noticing, you feel very broken and you feel very low from inside. So that is what Hawthorne studies was, and that is how it positive psychology entered the realm of organization management and business administration, etc. Okay, fine. So we'll go to the next slide. Yes, so these are some of the areas like job, marriage, relationships, where we want to give our best. Okay, so and you can see the percentage written there is the percentage of stress we get from these areas. Okay, so marriage and relationships, say, let's say 21%, jobs, say we get the majority, that is 24%, then family expectations, academics, etc., etc. Nothing much to talk about in this slide. We'll talk in the further slides. Okay, the next one. Okay, so Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I asked everybody to get this, to read about this yesterday. Have you people read about it?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Okay. So fine. So I think if you have read, I'll just, yes, Pooja Jha wants to say something. Yes, Pooja, please tell. Pooja, you wish to say something? No? Okay, okay. So what is Maslow's hierarchy of needs? So yesterday we talked about, everybody knows the five basic ones. That is the biological or physiological needs, safety needs. Then you have your social needs, esteem needs. Now three more, and the last one was self-actualization. Now three more have been added. Those are, after esteem needs, you have your cognitive needs. What is cognitive needs? Now you are cognitively very enthusiastic to find out why things happen this way, why things don't happen that way. You try finding out the whys of life. Okay, whys and hows of life. So that is your cognitive need. After that, there is something known as aesthetic needs. What is aesthetic needs? Aesthetic is anything that makes your life very beautiful. Okay, and it is a very subjective thing. See, for some people, you will see, I'll give you a very good example. When now I'm working in a tribal dominated area. Actually, I had never seen a village before I came to this place. Since I was born, brought up, raised in a capital, I had never seen a village earlier. So when I was in the capital, and when I used to see tribal printed dresses, I think you understand the worldly prints, or the prints that I'm wearing one right now. I'll just share the photo in the group after the class. So when I used to see that earlier, before 5-6 years, I used to think that why people like such kind of prints. There is nothing to be understandable in this. It's like everybody, we have a triangle and we have another triangle that looks like a man. Why is it so beautiful? How does it even people like this? I don't understand. But now when I am actually working here, and I'm repeatedly seeing those designs in every, you can see in every folder, or let's say in every in every buildings, etc. Now I have developed a liking for it. So that is aesthetic. Aesthetic is something that, you know, that value adds to something, and it is very subjective. Since I'm sitting in my chamber today, I'll show you something. See, you all have seen folders, okay? This is a folder made out of bamboo. Okay, I'm not sure if everybody can see it. So this is a bamboo folder, okay? Now, this is something which is very, very famous in capital cities and in big cities, okay? But when I talked about making bamboo folders here in my blog, the people were like, nobody will take this. What is the use of this? This looks so bad. Then I explained to them, no, this looks very good. Then I actually showed them videos on YouTube and other platforms where people really love this work. And so this is one bamboo folder, and then we have few more. I'll share the photos in the group. So see, this is one moment. So basically, this is what is aesthetic. It is very, very subjective. What one person may like, other person may not like it. Okay. Then after aesthetics, we come to self-actualization. What is self-actualization? That is reaching your highest potential. Whatever you are, whatever your capacity is, whatever your abilities are, when you reach the highest potential, that is known as self-actualization. Self-actualization is a point where you feel that, yes, I have achieved what I have wanted to. I have reached the point I wanted to. That is self-actualization. Now, after that, there is another, you can say there is another level now that is known as self-transcendence. What is transcendence? Transcendence means to move to one stage from another, or to flow from one stage to another. So once you yourself have become self-actualized, you are helping others to become self-actualized. Okay, that is self-transcendence. Now, even on top of that, researchers are now working for another stage that is known as species transcendence. So after you have helped self and others of your species, you will now help other species. Okay, like let's say a human is self-actualized, he will help another human to reach self-actualization, and usse bhi upar stages when he will try and pass on that compassion and pass on that kindness to animals, and let's say to animals only, because that will be one thing only. So animals and, you know, other organisms, or let's say plants. Okay, so that is species transcendence, but that has still not been added. They're just working on it. Okay, right. So we can go to the next one. Yes. So next is concepts of existential theory. I think I told you to read something about Viktor Frankl and Rollo May. I do not know how many of you have read, but let me just tell this to you very briefly. There's a person called Viktor Frankl. As I told you, he was a Holocaust survivor. Matlab, he was somebody who was himself there in the concentration camp that I was talking of yesterday. And he has taken out a therapy known as logotherapy. So what is logo? Logo comes from the word logos. Logos means meaning. So he says that in your entire life, the only purpose is to find the meaning of your existence. Why you are living. What is the purpose of your existence? So many people find it very early. Many people find it very late. Some people do not even find it. Okay. So that is what he told, that since till the time you find the meaning of your life, till that time you will always feel empty. And the day you have found the meaning, from that day you should start counting your life. And from that day, you will always be happy, and your behavior will always be very, very goal directed. Okay. Now, next, again, a person is there, Rollo May. He's also an existential therapist. He says that the basic thing that guides our life is anxiety. Okay. Now, what is anxiety? Now, many people will tell anxiety means maybe tension or something. No, anxiety basically means an unfounded tension in anticipation of something bad. Okay. Matlab, it means that kal mera result aane wala hai. I still do not know my result, but I'm feeling very, I'm feeling very sad. I'm feeling very nervous. I'm thinking that it might go bad. Okay. So anxiety is you can say it is a pre-hand reaction to an event which has still not occurred, which is about to occur, but you are thinking that it will go bad. Okay. So he says that our life is guided by anxiety. And the only thing is that anxiety always tries to become a major fear. And in our entire life, we always try to overcome this fear. So how we can overcome the fear? We can try, we can try to find out incentives, or we can try to find out ways from where we will not. Now, what is the best way to overcome that fear? Best way to overcome that fear is to study for the exam. So if you know that this time I'm anxious for the result, it is because I've not studied well. The next time I must study well. So he says that throughout our life, we always try to find out incentives, we try to find out ways, we try to avoid that fear, and this is how our life goes on. Okay. So these were the two concepts, and basically I have used them here in positive psychology is because once you have changed your mindset and you have become positive yourself, you will always find a meaning in life, and you will always find out good ways to overcome this fear. Okay, you will not be fearful of situations and people in your life. Okay, yes. Next one, Swapnilji. Yes. So now, since we in the beginning of the class, I told you that I'll talk to you about how to use it in educational setting, counseling, and human administration, and self and others. So I have put the self and others for the last. So the first one, that is change your thoughts. How can you use positive psychology in your life? Number one is you change your thoughts. How can you change your thoughts? The first thing is that you have to lower your expectations. You have to have realistic expectations from life, and you have to understand that for any situation you are enough. Even if it's your birthday, you have called few people and they don't turn up, you can always be happy and enjoy yourself. You don't need somebody else to feel happy. Okay, so your note to yourself should be that you are enough for everything. And the second image that we are seeing, there's a very good story about it. Once a teacher comes to a classroom, and she gives a glass of water to a child and tells you, hold this. So the child is holding the glass of water. The teacher asks, is this heavy? So the child says, no, it's not heavy. Then she again asks after half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Then at one point the child says, yes ma'am, this is very heavy and I'm feeling very uncomfortable. So now the teacher tells the child, let's see, the weight is not of the water in the glass. The weight is of how long you are holding it. And similarly, the weight of our thoughts, of our regrets, of our guilt, of our repentance is what makes life very, very uncomfortable for us. The day you learn to forgive yourself, the day you learn to move ahead, the day you learn to leave these thoughts behind, you'll see your life will be very easy. Let me share a story with you. Once there was a sannyasi and his disciple. They were on the bank of a river and they were trying to cross the river. So while they were about to cross a river, a lady comes, okay? And she tells that, Sannyasi ji, I do not know how to swim. Can you just help me crossing the river? The sannyasi says that, no, I cannot help you because I don't talk to girls, and we just don't, I cannot help you. Now she just doesn't say anything, and then the sannyasi moves ahead. He starts swimming, and then the disciple also swims. While the sannyasi turns back and sees, what he sees is, since the lady can't swim, the disciple has carried the lady on his back, and he's also swimming. The sannyasi gets very angry that I told the lady that I cannot help, and how did my disciple help? He also should not have helped. Then they reached the other bank. They reached the other side of the bank. And then the lady got down, she walked away. The sannyasi didn't talk to the disciple. Time passed by, about half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. Then this disciple asked, Sannyasi ji, why are you not talking to me? Are you angry with me? Then the sannyasi told, yes, I'm very angry with you. How dare you help that lady when I told not to help? Then this disciple says, oh, that lady, that event before 2 hours you're talking about. I carried that lady and I left the lady at the other side of the bank, and I have even forgotten about that. But you didn't carry the lady, but you carried your anger for so long. So tell me, who is more guilty of being uncomfortable? Okay. So that is what your thoughts will weigh you down if you do not know, how to handle them. So please handle them carefully. Okay. So we can go to the next slide. We can go to the next slide. Yes. So next is again very it's, I think we do not need to spend much time here. You need to help others, because when you help others, you feel positive, you feel very high, and you feel very good. Okay, and you have to practice gratitude. So whatever happens in your life, be grateful for it, be grateful for this life. Be grateful to your parents, to your friends, wherever you are today. You are because of that chaining process that is going on, that we talked of. Okay, so our entire life is a chaining process. Every person in your life is important, and every person you met in your life was important to bring you here where you are today. Okay, so be grateful, because once you are grateful, it totally makes you one with the universe, and you feel really happy. Okay, so practice gratitude and help others. Okay, next. Next, Swapnilji. Yes, this is very, very important topic, jealousy. Now, many of us know that, we do not feel good when we see somebody else achieving something, and it is there with everybody. But we do not accept it, okay? What we do is we try to suppress it, or we try to talk behind their back to somebody else, or we try to spread around negativity. And after doing all that, also we feel bad. ऐसा भी नहीं कि we do all this and we feel good. Even after doing all this, we feel bad. So best way to deal with jealousy, which is the most negative thing for us, but also the most avoided topic. Best is, please accept that, okay, you are feeling bad because of this. And the next moment, try to learn what is it that is making you feel jealous. If any of your friend has, or anybody you know has done the project better than you, if you are feeling bad about it, accept that I'm feeling bad about it. It is completely okay to feel bad about it. And in the second moment, try to learn what is it that made the project better than me, better than mine, and I should also incorporate the same, or I should also take some ideas and do it better the next time. If these are the two steps, acceptance and learning from it, if you just do these two things, you will see over the time this feeling uncomfortable, and this feeling of envy, and this feeling of feeling very low when somebody else achieves something will totally come down, and you will get over this very fast. I mean, earlier, if you didn't like this thing and it used to continue for 5-10 hours, now this will just get over in half an hour or 1 hour. So do practice this. And if anybody starts practicing this, please share your results with me. I would be very glad to know it. Okay, now we'll go to the next one. Yes. So now next one is myth of multitasking. Why many people are very unhappy these days is because we are always multitasking. We are doing many things at once. Okay. Now that is not bad. What is bad is, with every task, the expectation is high. मान लीजिए you are doing one work, you are totally focusing on it, the result will be good, the expectation will also be low. But if you are doing 5 works at a time, and on all the 5 you have to perform very good, now that is a lot of pressure. Okay, so multitasking necessarily does not make you a very does not give you a lot of happiness, or does not change your life. Rather, if you focus, it will be much better. So you have to be mindful, and you have to be in the present situation. You have to enjoy the present situation. That is why we had put that question in the group, that what is one thing that you observe today has changed your it has changed your day. So many people had shared very nice images, because they actually liked when they were in the present moment, they enjoyed that moment, and that is why they shared that photo. Okay, so please be mindful, and please do not multitask, and please do not drain yourself, okay, unless necessary. Okay, the next one. Yes. Now this is a very good principle. These are two very good principles that I'll share with you today. Suppose you have done something and you are feeling very stressed, you are feeling very sad. अरे यार ये मुझसे क्या हो गया, मैंने ऐसे क्यों कर दिया? So please understand. First is so what. The technique is so what. मान लीजिए you have done something wrong, और आपसे कुछ गलत हो गया. First ask yourself, ठीक है मेरे से गलती हो गई, so what? Let's say you did some mistake in your office, let's say. So what will happen? So maybe your immediate superior will get angry. Okay, so what? Maybe he'll complain to the boss. Okay, then so what? maybe he'll scold me. Okay, then maybe he might just withhold my salary or something. Okay, then he might just throw me out of the company. Okay, then what? Then maybe you'll get a good job also. It's not that you will stay, you'll stay unemployed. So when you go, or maybe, or even better, when if he actually throws you out from the job, if at all, you can always do what you always liked doing. So when you go on telling so what, so what, so what, you will understand every situation can be handled, and every situation, if goes bad, doesn't mean it is the end of the world. You can always start afresh. Okay, so please start practicing this so what, and you will see that everything is not a very big deal in life. Everything can be manageable, and every situation has a solution. Okay, now next we go to the ratio principle. So what is the ratio principle? See, like we have divided the life, you can see in the pie chart, into a few slices. Like, let's say there is one part which is work, one part which is your family, one part which is your friend circle. Now, similarly, you have your entire life of 70, let's say 70 years, average is 70. मान लीजिए you failed in an exam. Okay, you failed in a you failed in a unit test of standard 9th, let's say, and you're feeling very bad about it. Please understand that 9 standards exam was an exam which was conducted in 6 months. Okay, 6 months ke baad you had that exam, you failed in it. Now just try the ratio. In entire 70 years, what is the ratio of 6 months? Very less, very, very less. Similarly, when we are breaking up with a friend, we say, my God, I spent 2 years of my life, I spent 4 years of my life, I spent 5 years of my life, talking to this person and sacrificing for this person, etc., etc. Now I will never make friends in my life. Now I will never talk to anybody. Please understand, 4 years, 5 years to that 70 years of your life is a very, very small amount. Don't waste 65 years of your life, or let's say the remaining 40, 45 years of your life just for 5 years. Always go by the cost benefit analysis and the ratio principle. Everything will seem very small. Nothing is worth, nothing, no event is worth the remaining years of your life. Okay, so please do give a thought, and if you have any views on that, do share in the group also. I'll be very happy to read them. Yes. Okay, we can go to the next. Yes. Now this is very, very important. The pressure of being liked by all. Okay, especially in social media, that especially regarding social media that I was talking about yesterday. Everybody today wants that I should be liked in the social media. Okay, fine, that's a good thing. I'm not saying it is good or bad. I'm not being judgmental. But tell me, being liked by people in a virtual world, by those people whom you might not have met in a long time, or you might not have ever met actually, how much their validation counts to you? Tell me. If you, let's say, let me give you an example. Okay, this happened with one of my cousins, so I'm just stating it here. My aunt, she told my cousin that please make tea, okay, evening tea for everybody. So my cousin told that no, I will not make. I will not make because I have other work. And she left, and she went and she started I don't know what is it called, posting photos or uploading photos on social media. And after 1 hour, when she came back, so some guests had come and they were just chatting among themselves. And one of the guests told my aunt that I had heard that your daughter makes very good tea. Is it the same tea that she has made today? Then my aunt told, no, she has not made. I have made. Then that uncle told that but she makes very good tea, so many people have praised. Oh, I thought that okay, if she would have made today, I would have appreciated her, and I would have like given her something as a gift or something. Okay, no problem. Now the cousin came to me and she told me, for the first time I'm realizing I missed out something real for something virtual. And I was very happy to listen to that. I told, yes, there are some moments which are real and which are genuine, and they cannot be traded for anything else, whether it is virtual or whether it is anything else. So please understand that virtual world may exist, may not exist for you, may be important, may not be important for you, but please do not trade it for the real pleasures of life. Okay, when we are going to a I see when we are going to some functions, people are not looking at the stage what performance is going on. They're busy recording it in the camera. I do not understand, when you are recording an entire 45 minutes video of performance, will you ever go back to your home and even spend those 45 minutes again watching it? You will just keep it in your phone, and then after 1 month, while you are scrolling, your memory is full, you will just delete it. Okay, good, fine, no issues with that. But see, you actually missed out watching the performance before your eyes in the real time. Your focus was on recording and doing something which you never even saw later. Okay, so please understand this real happiness of life. Okay, and then there is a term there, psychobabble, that is very important. In Western countries, just like counseling, it's little similar to counseling, not entirely like counseling. What they do is, suppose somebody is very unhappy, he goes to a person who's who is in charge of this thing. So he goes and he speaks to that person whatever comes to his mind and whatever he's going through, whatever he's feeling. The person who listens to him just has to say ha, that's all. He does not have to give any value judgment. He does not have to give any opinion. He does not have to tell anything. He just has to listen, that's all. So I still feel that seeking validation in a virtual world, say it's better if you find a friend or somebody who can help you with psychobabble. That is one of my suggestions. If you have some friends like that, or if you have even one person like that in your life, I think it's a very, very good thing. Yes. So we can move to the next. Yes. So again, with that also, I want to say that change is the permanent flow. Everything in this world change, whether it is a good situation or a bad situation, everything will change. So no need to feel unhappy about anything. If anything is bothering you today, please understand, after 5 days, it will not have any meaning. It will not, you will not feel that strongly as you're feeling today. So I just love that quote. That is why I have put it there. 10 years from now, you will laugh at whatever's stressing you out today. So why not laugh now? Very, very good and powerful thought. Please think over it, friends. Whatever you are thinking is very important to you today may not be very important to you tomorrow. Whether it is a bad event, whether it is a very negative experience. So please do not punish yourself for it. Rather, just try to take it easy, and you will see, definitely, if you start practicing this over a few weeks, you will see that you are able to overcome negativity much faster, much faster than you used to do earlier. Okay, so we'll go to the next. Yes, so this is the concluding line, or the conclusion of the entire seminar, entire course of 2 days. In the end, these things will matter the most. How well did you love? How fully did you live? And how deeply did you let go? So if we do these 3 things in our life, you can just understand our life will be very good. We will have positivity all around. And again, there will be whatever we have learned today. Everything centers around these 3 things. Okay, how well did you love? How nice, how good friends you made, how good you strengthened your relationship with your relatives, they all come in the first part. Okay, how fully did you live? What all did you achieve? What were your real achievements? What are those achievements that made you feel contented and happy and satisfied? And how deeply did you let go? How quickly you forgave people around you? How quickly you forgave yourself? How quickly or how nicely you let go of things that did not matter to you, that did not bother to you? So these 3 things and these 3 questions are most important questions of our life, and these are the things that will matter at the end. Nobody is going to ask you what was your percentage in 12th standard. Maybe when you reach 40, nobody will ask you that. They'll just ask you, how are you feeling today? How has your life been? What are the good experiences of your life? Today, I just want to confess something. I was very bad in maths when I was in school. And today, I mean, where in the job I am, I have qualified the jobs through Odisha Civil Services. And nobody ever asked me today, what was your marks in maths? People just ask me, how did you qualify the exam? Can you just give us some tips to do it? All the youth of my block, they keep asking. So that's what I want to tell you. Every bad moment, every bad event, every bad experience, they will fade away only if you stop focusing on the negative and if you only try to learn from it. So that was my takeaway for you from this 2 days course. And thank you so much. We can go to the next slide, which is just a thank you slide. Thank you everybody for being a part of this 2 day course. I really enjoyed talking to you people, and it was really nice. And I hope this 2 days that you invested, 2 hours that you invested, I hope it went well for you. And fine, we can just take down the questions now. Thank you so much. And over to you, Swapnilji.
Thank you so much for an insightful session, ma'am. It was really very, very eye-opening session. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Really,
it was
thank you so
really
much.
good.
The session is really awesome,
It
ma'am.
was
Thank you. Friends, friends,
much,
just
ma'am.
give one moment, friends. I'll just connect back again since I'm on the mobile and it's just giving me few one. Just give me one moment. I'll connect again.
okay. So if you have any questions, you can post it in the group. So we will start with Q&A session, and post that I will also share details around certificate, how the sample certificate will look like. So if you are interested, you can submit your details. Okay, so please stay connected for Q&A session.
Yes, I'm there. Yes. Yes, somebody was saying something. Yes, I think since it's the last day, and I think we can take 5-10 minutes extra. So if somebody wanted to tell something, they can say. I think that time somebody was saying something.
Yeah, hello. Thank you
Yes.
so much. These days, these sessions really matters because it was so in real things happening and you have focused on those. It really helps because everyone got their own perception, but this really motivates people to think beyond that because everyone is stuck with their own perceptions. This
Thank you.
really gives them the insight, and I myself have come through all this, facing through all this and changed my perception. And right now, like I'm here with a total different perception. And I keep saying, but it isn't easy for people to take it. They got their own perceptions. So maybe we got to learn like how better ways we got to tell them, or how we can make things happen in a better way. That I could really know through the session, learning to know the positive sentences. And thank you so much. It was great giving such a wonderful session, that too for free of cost. I mention it because it makes it easy to read such good sessions. You know, many times we might miss out due to our various situations, but this giving such a wonderful time for no cost, it really matters. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Somebody was saying something, and somebody else was
And
also.
we are going to have more such sessions in the future. So please, yeah. So I was just saying that we are going to have such wonderful sessions more and more. Please stay connected with us. I have already shared the links with you. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So questions,
I have
please.
just one question.
Yes. Yes.
How
Please. Yes.
how to face fear of losing good moments? Like
See,
if you are having a good moment and you are second, you will be feel like I'm going to lose this sooner or later.
okay. Okay. The question is an oxymoron. Okay, you understand what's an oxymoron? Oxymoron is uh, garam thanda. That's an oxymoron. Okay.
Yes.
So, like, first of all, you are saying how to fear of losing a moment. Okay. First thing is that a moment is a temporary thing. So it will anyway be lost. है ना?
Yes.
When you are saying
Definitely.
moment का मतलब क्या है? When we say that, okay, I'll answer just a moment. मतलब, it is a temporary thing. It is going to pass away.
Yes.
Now, the point why you are feeling very anxious is you are trying to hold on to something जिसका basic nature is to pass away.
Yes.
Instead of holding on to positive moments, try creating positive moments. Okay. I'll give you an example, a real life example. Um, I basically work in a place which is uh, which is very much infested by Maoist people. Okay, and I work in a block which is one of the most remote and poorest block of India. You can always search for it in the internet, and my posting is considered to be a punishment posting. Okay, because never ever people want to come to this block. It was my posting, and since I never since it is my first posting as a administrative officer, so I came here. And you will not believe, you can also, I mean, I'm supposed to be the 47th video of my blog, but the first lady video, because no ladies were given posting in this place due to the Mao insurgency here. Okay, Maoist insurgency, or the
Okay.
Naxal influence, you can say. Yes. So when I came here, people started telling me that, Romana, you must take a transfer within a week or 10 days, because it is very, very tough to survive here without roads, without bridges, without, without proper communication, no network, no internet. See, just today also it happened. We didn't have internet. We don't have internet here frequently. I have connected from my phone, therefore. So, like, what I understood from this is, let it be a very, very bad place. I am going to create good moments for myself, and I am going to enjoy this posting of mine. And you will not believe, next month, sorry, next May, in May, I'm going to complete 3 years in this place. Okay, and probably I'm the longest serving BDO of this blog. Now, what I want to tell you is, when you're trying to hold on to moments, when you're trying to hold on to things which in their nature is there to pass away, it will definitely bring you grief. Okay. And one more thing, no two moments are alike. Let's say you celebrated your birthday with your family this year. Same year, it will be the same people, but the birthday celebration will never be the same. So similarly, my suggestion to you is, do not try to hold on to moments, rather create such positivity, create such positive events and memories and moments, which will always be better than the previous one. And you will be in control of creating them, and you will never feel sad or grieved about it. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Rather than running for a temporary thing, try to create temporary thing on a daily basis.
Very good. Very good. I'm very happy you got that. Very good. Yes. Yes. Anybody else who wants to?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Hello.
Ma'am, I
Yes.
have a
Okay.
question.
We are
Uh,
Ma'am,
uh-huh.
in a situation that we are not depressed in our life, but at the other moment we are not happy in general about our life. So, can we consider that we are in a state of well-being?
We are in a state of which one?
Well,
Well-being.
well-being. Yes, ma'am.
See, well-being is very subjective. Okay, what you are feeling to be not happy might be again very happy for you at some other time. Okay. First of all, whenever you are feeling uncomfortable, whenever you are feeling sad, whenever you are feeling not happy, try to find out what is that one thing that is not making you happy. And Trust me, we all know the answers, but sometimes it is not socially acceptable. Okay, I'll give you a very small example. Just bear with me. Sometimes it happens. जैसे मान लीजिए there is an elder sister. I'm just giving you a very culture specific thing. There is a elder sister, let's say, who is now, let's say, 35. She is not married, and suppose the younger sister, she is, let's say, 27, and she likes somebody. She comes and tells at home, and at home they agree that okay, we'll get you married, don't worry. And then she says, but okay, my elder sister is not married. Then they say, okay, no problem, nobody minds all that so much these days. It's okay, first you will marry, and whenever we get a good groom for your elder sister, we'll get her married then. Now see, suddenly what happens, generally, the elder sister will not feel very good about it. Okay, this is how generally things are, because she knows that she was being discussed in that situation. She'll not feel good. And then definitely her facial expressions and everything will change. And then when you go and ask her, why are you not feeling good? She typically knows why she's not feeling good, but she will not be in a condition due to societal norms and due to other peer pressure to say the actual reason. She might just tell, no, I'm not feeling good today. Maybe it's very hot. Maybe I'm feeling a little dizzy. Maybe I'm not feeling very comfortable. But she will not tell the reason that this was the reason why I was, not happy. Similarly, when whatever you told, even you know why you are not happy. On certain days, even you know why you are not happy. The best thing is to accept why you are not happy and keep practicing things, this ratio principle. Keep practicing ratio principle, okay? I'm not happy today. Maybe because of this. No problem here. After 5 days, this will not even matter. Why am I taking this so seriously? If somebody does not, let's say, one of your friend didn't invite you for birthday party. नहीं बुलाया, कोई बात नहीं. Okay, maybe she thought that or he thought that कि नहीं बुलाना चाहिए. It's okay. What is? I mean, इतनी बड़ी बात तो नहीं है. Maybe after 5 days, I'll not even remember this. If this is what we start practicing, you will see you will overcome these daily moments of sadness or unhappiness very, very soon. Okay, so do practice that. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes. Any question? Any more questions? Swapnilji, do you have any questions in the chat box? Actually, I'm not able to attend the chat. I mean, I'm not able to see the chat.
Excuse me,
No,
ma'am.
we don't have any questions in the chat.
Okay, fine. हाँ, tell me, हाँ, बताइए.
Ma'am, when we deal with mod,
Sorry, voice is not audible. Please tell again.
how can we deal modeling in through children and all?
How can we teach?
No, deal with modeling.
How can we deal with modeling? What is there to deal? I didn't understand. Matlab, what is your basic question?
I mean, if we compare them with someone or something, then they will feel like demotivated that we are comparing them with someone or something. So it feel inferiority.
I got it. Okay. You are saying that how to teach children something through modeling and not make them feel, not make them feel inferior or not tell them that you are comparing, right?
Yes.
Yes. See, the first thing, and it's a very, very good question, let me tell you. The first thing is that when you are showing children something positive, please never tell them to imitate. Please don't tell them कि इसकी तरह करो, ऐसा बनो. Rather, what you tell is you twist your language a bit. You show the child something and you tell, देखो ये कितना अच्छा कर रहा है, बढ़िया कर रहा है ना. But it does not mean that you also have to do. Don't repeat that after that. Just show him and just tell him, see, I saw. Just say I see many a times with my friends also, when they have something to show to their children, I tell them that just show it to them. But don't give any judgment. Ye acha hai, ye bura hai. Just show it to them. See how this person is doing this. Now it is up to the child whether he will accept it or not accept it. Now first thing what the child will do is the child will look at whatever you are showing it to him, and occasionally will also look at your reaction to that same thing that you are showing. If it is of a happy reaction, the child will definitely model it, because just say our purpose in sorry our entire aim in life is to find a purpose and meaning. Similarly, the aim of the child in the earlier years is to make others happy so that they give him attention. Okay, so once you are showing him something positive and you are reacting positively to it without giving any value judgment to the child will view the event, and child will view your reaction, and he will automatically model it. And then to bring it to the perfect model, you have to use shaping. आपको shaping use करना पड़ेगा. You have to use token economy, and then that entire thing will then come into place.
Yes.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, okay. Okay, Swapnilji, do we have any more questions?
There are, Rumana ji, there are yes, but some of the questions are not related to the positive psychology. So do you want to take those, or we can just look at the questions related to positive psychology?
No, you can just ask me whatever. I mean, what are the questions? We can. I'll
Do you
just.
have time? So sorry, because okay.
No, it's okay. But the point is, whoever has asked the question should be present.
You should not be have to go. Okay. Okay. So there is one question that is related to improve self-esteem via positive psychology. How to do that?
Self-esteem. Okay. Yes, definitely. Okay, but that will be a little longer one. Whoever it is, I will personally, I can take the questions. We can do one thing, Swapnilji. You can just put my email ID and my phone number. If anybody is there who wants to personally write, we can take those. I think that will be good.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Raja Lakshmi ji, what I will suggest you is you can go through the recording. Okay. So if you have missed some part of the session, then you can certainly go through recording. That is the best way.
कशाचं congratulation टाकलंय कोणाला?
For any payment related issues, please reach out to the number given in the message. Okay. Yes, Deepika ji, it is a paid certificate. Education is free, but when it comes to certificate, there is some cost attached to it. For example, the designer cost and printing cost. Okay, so please be aware of that. I know most of you are interested in getting certificates, so there is a link I have shared. Okay, I'll not be able to check individual payments right now because I'm on the call, obviously. So I will check those details afterwards. But if you do not hear anything from me, means please wait for 10 days at least to get the certificates. You can always contact us with the. You already have the details with you now. Okay. Do test your knowledge. I have shared the quiz link, and if you are making any payment, you need to submit form. Without your details, we will not be able to means order certificate for you. Okay, because we might not be having your complete name or what detail you want in that certificate. Okay, so please make sure you are providing us that details so we can initiate the process of designing those certificates. Okay. I hope you all understand. And apart from this, the most important part is learning. Okay, we are certainly going to have a lot of such sessions in the future. So I would suggest you to stay connected with us. And if you are a part of the group, then stay connected that group. Do not leave the group. And Rumana ji will also be conducting psychology classes in future. So I will share her email ID and everything, so you can also reach out to her directly. So remember, she is pretty means amazing person, and whenever she has time, she will certainly get back to you with answers on your questions. Okay.
Yes.
So feel free to do that. We will not be able to provide phone number if you want. We will not be able to do that. Okay. So because of the work that she has. Any other question? There was one question I missed. Just give me a minute. Sorry. Point out research topics in positive psychology.
Oh, there are so many. You can go for happiness. You can go for subjective well-being, with correlating it with age, correlating it with gender, correlating it with races, or maybe of different cities. Again, with you can high achievement people, low achievement people. Then go with income. So many are there. You can just correlate with all the various cohorts you have, or all the various groups you have. There's so many. We covered 2 3 yesterday. You can always take gender as one, school children as one, adults as one. So many, so many. Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Okay.
ma'am, what
So,
will be the amount to be paid for the certificate? I can't see
Swapnil
the
ji will
chat
guide
box.
you. Yes, Swapnil ji will guide you. He has probably put the link in the group. I'm sorry, I'm not able to see it. If you have any issues, you can directly contact. Okay, he'll again put it in the group.
yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Most welcome. Most welcome.
Okay. So I will share the details in the group. So don't worry.
Yes.
And I will also share email ID with you over here as well as in the group. But please, means whenever you are asking questions, means your uh, subject topic should be related to something that is identifiable. Otherwise, it will get lost. Okay.
Yeah.
So make sure you're also using a subject line that can allow her to identify those emails.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I have posted her email ID in the comments. So please make note of it. All right. So it's we are already over the session. So thank you so much all for being here, and special thanks to Rumanaji for conducting this wonderful session. I really got to learn a lot of new aspects about the positive psychology. Okay,
Next time,
so
we'll ask
certainly
questions.
in future we would like to hear more from you. Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
now we will certainly stop over here and wrap up our
Yes.
session.
Yes. 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 Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Thank. Bye. Bye. Take care.
Take care, everyone.